So that was a challenge, and I wanted to do something very different. We like to mix up the hackathons every Thursday just to keep it fresh. So this particular hackathon was run by Philip, one of the devs on our team, and he had used AI to kind of generate a challenge for us. The game was called the Mystery Mosaic Find the Clues. Just to read it here. It was Mystery Mosaic invites players to dive into detailed, crowded scenes to find hidden clues that will help unravel a bigger story or mystery. Think of it as a fusion of Where's Waldo with detective noir vibes. So I wanted to go back to the heydays of like choose your own adventure type story. And I also wanted to, since AI had written the challenge, I wanted to use AI to kind of write the mystery choose your own adventure type story for me, and then implement some kind of cool, technical aspect to it. AI and I, a match made in heaven, came up with the canvas conundrum. Time, let's say an hour, is not enough time to authenticate, integrate with an API and all of that. So I had to kind of dumb my idea down, where I just went and chose some famous art pieces. And then the idea was that you just had to guess what it was. And as you guess, unblur. So starting out with the choose your own adventure, you are presented with a vial to drink. You've had something to drink. Your vision's blurry, and as you can see there, you can see there's some kind of liquid, and you have to decide whether or not you want to drink it. So if you go ahead and drink it, you're dead. I'll take you on the shortest route first. Turns out that vial had more poison in it, and it just really sped up your demise. So we'll restart the app again, and now that we know, we won't go ahead and drink it. And that kind of is past the first choose your own adventure. You can see we made the right decision, and now we need to look amongst all of the artwork and find the right piece and stop the sloot before they get away with it. So when we start, you can see we've got a blurred image, as I mentioned earlier. From a tech stack, I used Svelte. So Svelte is a newish JavaScript framework. The difference is that where a lot of your frameworks build your web application at runtime, Svelte takes this compiler approach where you write your code in JavaScript and then it compiles your web app for you, which really helps from a performance perspective. But the reason I like using it specifically for pet projects is it's got this real component-based approach. So you write your JavaScript, your HTML, and your CSS all in one file, and like magic, it kind of works. The community is split on whether that's good or not, but a lot of what I do is fast prototyping, and I find that taking a development experience approach like that really helps me to build something really quickly. So I've used Svelte, and you can see I've loaded the image, and I've just used some CSS to blur the image. And then you start out by entering the name of this art piece. Sure, and we have to, hopefully I can remember what they are. But the idea is that every time you guess, if you get it correct, you move on to the next art piece. If it's incorrect, the image starts to unblur to make it a bit more recognizable. And for that, I've just used a CSS property that blurs it. So I'll go ahead and type in the wrong answer. If I type in wrong answer and I hit enter, you'll see that the application has now kind of unblurred that image. I've got 4 guesses remaining, so I'm going to go ahead and say the Starry Night. And if I hit enter, oh, it's still not that. Let's try Starry Night out there. And great, you guessed it. Obviously, the UI is very basic. As I mentioned, it's more about what can you build as quickly as possible aligned to the challenge. So given more time, I'll do some more fancy thing. But that alert that you saw there was just a basic alert that we get in browsers. So everyone should know this. It's the Mona Lisa. So I'll go and enter the Mona Lisa. Great guess. And I'm now onto the last one. Again, I will do the wrong answer. It's unblurred. Test. I've got 1 guess remaining, and this is the screen. And if I hit enter, great guess. I've been able, you can see I've won. I found my piece before the sleuth stole it. And it redirects me to a celebratory page. And in dev, we all love to get rickrolled. And that was just a bit of fun, whether you won or not, you would get recalled. But, yeah, that was the application, and that was my take on the kind of mystery mosaic find the clue challenge that we had in the hack. I learned that you need to maybe set your sights a bit lower when you've got a real short amount of time. I had these high hopes of API integrations and all of that, and it just wasn't enough time. So it was one thing I learned. The other thing I learned is that I can build things really quickly with Svelte, which is why I reach for it. I learned that it does the job well for me, right? I mean, it is robust enough to go into production. We just at Plus Narrative tend to use other frameworks for that. But yeah, really great at building something fast and quick. And I think that what the final thing that I learned is I really like choose your own adventure type things.